Welcome back. Once again, you're getting Gatsby, so I can think some things through in how I teach the Great Gatsby. I'm Madame Sensei. I teach Spanish, French, Japanese, and now I have a section of English language arts. And I'm not so good at it because I feel like a first year teacher with English language arts, even though I've been teaching other languages for a long time, and I'm quite confident with that. English language arts is totally new to me, and I want to be a good teacher, so I think very hard about it. So, over the summer, I stumbled upon EB Academics and took one of their workshops, and I really liked them, and they're for grades like 6 through 8. But what's good for an 8th grader is good for an 11th grader. Okay, these are all the same skills that we're all working on. I just need to present it in a slightly different way. So there's a lot of good nuggets here, and they have a really good podcast that I like. So, one thing that they suggested was a game Find the Lie, which is really two truths and a lie. And I thought this is absolutely perfect for what I want to do with Gatsby, because a lot of the struggle that I have is getting the students to engage with each other and analyze the text. They don't seem to want to do either of those two things. So, putting students into groups of 3 to 4, which is hard in my classroom because I've got table groups of 6 per table. So I'll have to move some people outside or onto the floor in front of the board or something. But I've made a bunch of cards. Okay, first person's going to read the card, and everybody has to write their 2 truths and a lie. And they're going to write their lie. I'm going to show you the paper in a second. Write their lie on a random line, either 1, 2, or 3. Don't be consistent because you don't want it to always be the same line, okay? Whoever has drawn the card is going to get to read the sheets out, okay? So they're going to read it aloud. They're going to shuffle the sheets so nobody knows who wrote what, and then they read the answers aloud. And then I'm giving table points because I do use the guided language acquisition and development technique of table points, which the students really like. Each of the tables is named after a book or a poem that we read throughout the year. And they're going to get 1 point for guessing the lie correctly, 3 points for telling a lie with nobody guessing. So here's some examples, all right? This is how or where Gatsby got his money. Just write 2 truths and 1 lie about that. This is a reason Nick came to New York. There's a feature of modernism, which can be seen easily in the book. So they get the idea. She suggests 9. I wound up with 11 because there were 11 things I really wanted my students to discuss and debate and see if they could catch each other without, if they hadn't really understood it. Because this will do towards the end after we've read the majority of the book. So I'm looking forward to that. I haven't done that before, and I just wanted to get it out there and see how it goes. So here's the sheet I'm going to give them. Here, things got reshuffled. Times you saw through a lie, they can tally on their paper. Times you fooled everybody, 3 points. Okay, and these are the things I came up with. Just 11 of them. I will happily share this with you if you want. Another thing I normally do at this, about halfway through the book, I normally do some hexagonal thinking. Now, hexagonal thinking was introduced to me from Berta Delgadillo at one of the World Language Teacher Summits, and she uses it with her Spanish classes, and I've had it kicking around in the back of my head for a long time. And normally I do it at this point, and I don't think I'm going to do it because I think I've got enough other stuff for them to discuss the book. But this is how it goes. You've got these hexagons, right? So the first time I just have the students name a movie so that we can play around with it and they can see how it goes. But they have to name the characters of the movie, the objects of the movie, the themes of the movie, and then I did not copy over the right page, but basically you write on each thing. Hold on. Okay, got the right slides. So I walk my students through it the first time, and I have them come up with a list of characters, objects, and themes. So here's what we brainstormed for. The Crucible, okay. These are the ones I thought that they would come up with, and then of course they added some more. So I'm trying to make it fit on the screen so you can see. So what I've done is given all the students a blank page that has hexagons on it, okay? And then the students write whatever they want on each hexagon. And let me group this. And okay, so the students write whatever they want on the hexagons. I'll write this down here. Perfect. There's grouped right there. And yeah, they want to talk about McCarthyism. Sure. I'm just going to make it fit on here. Perfect. Grouped. And Reverend John Hale. Sure. Okay, those are the ones that the students chose, let's say. All right, so now they cut out their hexagons, and then I give them a colored sheet of paper, construction paper, and a glue stick, and I'm like, okay, at your table group, put them together. How are they connected? And I get a lot of really good discussion here. Okay, McCarthyism. Okay, Reverend John Hale is at first succumbing to the hysteria of McCarthyism, so I'm going to put that there. Martha Corey. Well, you know what? Giles talks to John Hale about Martha Corey, so I'm going to put that there. Thou shalt not commit adultery. Okay, well, maybe we need John Proctor here. Okay, so we'll say this is a John Proctor one. They're going to be connected, and you know what? John Proctor is connected to Hale, and the whole thing's McCarthyism, so we'll connect them like that. Maybe we'll move this over here. So they move things around, and they discuss where they go, and get a lot of really good discussion from them about that. And of course, when we're done with the hexagonal thinking, they have to write me a page about their connections. And yeah, I gave them my class this year, they needed some sentence frames. Okay, so this table saw a connection between blah, 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 because we got that gallery walk. So I think I'm going to skip the hexagonal thinking this time around, because I think I'll get a lot of good discussion from the Find the Lie. We'll see. I may add it back in. But I've got a giant big project that I'm thinking of, which I really need to think out loud for. So that's what my next episode will be about. So if you want to help me think out loud, join me on the next episode.